Well, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us on this first of our, what we hope is going to be a series of live demos. We're going to pick a couple of topics each time and just cover those in one of these demos. Also, we will be inviting some of our customers to come along and present their use cases. So you will actually see some applications of AutoCAD OEM. Today, we're going to be covering de-featuring the AutoCAD OEM product. So making it lighter and easier to use, just leaving the features that you need in it. We'll be covering branding, licensing, and that will all be covered within the built-in wizards, and Parvo will be taking you through that. So if I start with some introductions, I'm Chris Litchfield. So I'm a fairly new member of the OEM development partner team. I report to David Gree, who has global responsibility for the Autodesk product. He's going to concentrate in the future on the Americas, and I will be responsible for EMEA. And I'm joined with Parvo, our senior consulting engineer, who will be looking after the live demonstration. And if you start to work with us, he will be assisting you with your evaluation and your onboarding. So just a quick overview of the products that Texoft 3D cover. I'd encourage you to go to our products page. So we have a number of platforms and SDKs that we develop ourselves. And then we also resell and are responsible for some other partners' products. And today we're going to concentrate on Autodesk OEM. But please revisit this page on a regular basis because it's constantly being added to. The latest edition will be Redway, our rendering engine, which will appear shortly. So I'm sure you see this slide quite often, people listing all their customers. We've got over 100 software development teams that have based their product on Autodesk OEM. I want to go in a little bit more detail on this slide. There's quite a variety of customers here. So people using it for scaffolding design, people for using it to design the layout for lighting, for concerts and stages, through to companies designing ship hull, doing hull design for ships and tankers. But what all of these companies have achieved is they've found a gap in the market where just CAD is just too complicated or doesn't meet a requirement. So they've taken some in-house capability, some in-house knowledge. They've linked it to some external SDKs and maybe their own add-on. They've done some customizing. They've lightened up the CAD platform, automated it, and created a new product that they've managed to sell into industry verticals. Now, by making a product that suits the requirements of the customer rather than supplying with a standard CAD product, they've managed to move outside of the standard design teams as well. So they'll be selling into the surveying team in companies. They'll be selling into the sales team. So they've got automatic quote generation, marketing teams, quality teams. So they've expanded their footprint not only by being able to sell to different companies, but also different departments in companies. So why have they chosen AutoCAD as OEM as their base CAD product? So Autodesk has over 35 years experience in development experience. But the important number for me is that 200 million end users. Now, I see that 200 million end users as 200 million testers and validators of the product. They have 10,000 employees, so they are continuously developing the Autodesk product range. There's the support there, there's the documentation. So you're building your product around a proven technology that's continuously moving forward. So it's the most popular CAD platform, which means there's a user base already out there. There's people that understand AutoCAD and can use it. If you go and develop your own CAD kernel for your product, you've got to then train people how to use it, convince them of its the benefits and the stability of that product, and you're going to struggle with adoption. And when you're trying to grow your marketplace, you don't want to be struggling with adoption. That's good. That's going to hold you back. Now, we've already established that it's a stable technology, but it's also got a massive development community. So there's always online training, tips and tricks. There's a community where you can just post a question and someone will come back with an answer. There's also a host of add-ons. So if you've not got your own add-on, you can choose somebody else's add-on, wrap it into your AutoCAD OEM product and become a reseller for their add-on, as well as selling your own product. Now, if you don't have the in-house expertise to develop AutoCAD OEM, talk to us. Within this community, we've got some proven partners that can help you with your development and get your product to market. So what we're going to cover today is the application is a product that's uniquely yours. So we're going to look at branding, some examples on the right. We're going to look at including some of your own features and automation, but reducing the features in the standard product to make it lighter and easier to use. And there's wizards to help you with all these customization. And then we're also going to go through the licensing, which is also something that attracts people to this product. You can create your own licensing model, whether that's a rental, subscription, 3-year subscription, or perpetual license, which is still of interest to a lot of companies out there. They like the idea that you can buy this on a perpetual basis. So that's your decision, and this is your business model. So you're starting with a proven CAD product. You don't have to worry about the support and the documentation. This is going to bring you to market quicker than developing your own and reduce your development costs, but also your on costs, maintaining it going forward. Every year, Windows upgrades, it's all handled. You don't need to worry about it. There'll be a new release every year. So you can focus on your particular area of expertise, your industry vertical. And then you can open yourself up to more users and sell through your channels. So if you're selling an API, you can sell this product through the same resellers that are selling your APIs. But also, because you're developing your own product rather than an add-on just for Autodesk, you're opening up the ecosystem you can sell to. Rather than just going to people using Autodesk and saying, I've got some functionality that you can add on to Autodesk, you can go to companies that are using NX or CATIA. And as mentioned before, you're selling into other departments because you've got an application that makes their process easier to use, rather than just a design tool and you're just in the design group. So your ecosystem will naturally grow. We had a case this week even where one company, an end user, is actually using a product from 2 of our different OEM partners in 2 different departments. So just to recap, create your own plugin or use somebody else's plugin, have an agreement to become a reseller, look at some SDKs, some of ours or someone else, do some automation. So use the wizards to create the product, user installer wizard to create the licensing model that you want, and then you're ready to ship. And we're talking sort of months rather than years in this process. So no matter where you are on your journey, whether you're just looking at the ideas, you have an add-on already that you want to perhaps wrap into another product, or even if you started to investigate CAD OEM products, speak to us. We can pick up with you at any point and move you through to that deployment.
Yeah, thank you, Chris, and welcome everybody. Nice to see so many joining this short demo. We have 3 themes: defeaturing, branding, and licensing, like Chris said. Chris also talked about how well-established AutoCAD has become as an end-user product since more than 30 years now. And he also said it's the most widely used CAD product in the world. The AutoCAD products are also attractive from a software developer perspective because they are customizable. Creating content for specific verticals or purposes, adding the product to adapting the product to local and industry standards, using the APIs to customize features and add functionality. So with all of that, with the AutoCAD products, with OEM, you can do all of that, but also some additional things, like things that are themes of this demo today, which I will be covering. So let's have a look at the full-blown AutoCAD OEM product. Looks like this. And open a drawing just to show you all the features, the user interface, and what you can see here. You have drafting and annotation, you have 3D modeling, and then you have all the features that are not visible here, like plotting and publishing and import, export of other CAD formats and everything. So that's the full-blown product. I'll close it down and I'll bring up. If I would create a full-blown product like that one, I would get a footprint of minimum 1.24 gigabytes, okay? That is like an introduction, because I want to talk about defeaturing. And I'll do that using a tool that we call the OEM Make Wizard, which Chris also mentioned. There we go. I have prepared a small OEM project that I call Test. The actual product name is CoolCAD. And in this AutoCAD Commands tab, you can see that we have some commands that are disabled or removed from the final product. I'll just scroll down so you get an idea that there's, yeah, pretty much I have removed. If I click on, let's click on category to sort by category. I can see that I can remove complete categories of commands or a complete feature if you like to use that word. I do have some additional features that I have disabled here. I have disabled background plotting as an example. And if I look at the footprint of this one, as a comparison to the previous one, with the removal, this is 980 megabytes. So that's a result of the defeaturing. Let's have a look at the CoolCAD product here. With the removal of these features and components, like you saw, we will get increased performance. The startup time and loading of different modules will be shorter. I don't know if you registered how long it took to launch the full-blown product versus CoolCAD here. We become niche, having only the features that your users really need. We'll have less of a learning curve. The end user doesn't need to learn AutoCAD, and all the features that I showed before and that I talked about that they don't necessarily need. They don't need to learn that, but if they are familiar with AutoCAD, they already master key workflows. Okay, let's just click here. This looks pretty much like the previous version at a glance. but you can see there's significantly less stuff here. And I also have some cool stuff here. Yeah, let's close this one down. Because the second theme of this demo was branding. And you can very easily change everything that is visually identifying your product in the Change Images tab. You can access splash screen files, you can access buttons and icons, and create your own, like this CoolCAD. CoolCAD button. I'll run it again so you get a full overview of that. It is really unique branding with the splash screen and the product name and all these. You have the icon in the taskbar. You have this what used to be called Big A in AutoCAD, and then also you can, with the UI that you can remove, you can also, of course, add your own UI and apply your own look and feel. There is another tool that Chris, I think he mentioned, the Install Wizard. And under the branding theme, let me just, under the branding theme, I want to show you the test, the CoolCAD project that you just saw, that I have the installer images. So I will apply my own look and feel, my own licensing terms, and build it from here. And if I go to, I think I have it prepared here actually. I go to the output master, which is an AutoCAD-like installer. I'm just going to run this. I will see that this is also branded as my own product. It is built on AutoCAD technology, but it looks like my own product. It will be under my company name and my product name in the installer. I won't install it here now. I just do like that. Which brings me to, close that one, to the third and final theme, which was licensing. So I have prepared another one, demo. It's called demo. Remember, this is not AutoCAD or an Autodesk product. It'll be your product under your company name and branding. Therefore, you are free to choose business model, both the licensing model and the actual licensing solution or technology. You simply implement the licensing solution according to the OEM framework, which I will very briefly show you here. So I go to my demo project, I go to your modules, and I add a module. Oh yeah, it should be in CoolCAD. I add a module called OEM licensing stuff. It's an ARX module. I will bind it to my product, and I will configure some settings here that we don't need to explain now. I'll just go in and yeah, I just want to show you that this is a licensing file that I have on the desktop. So I have a license number here. Okay. So I will just add this licensing module to my product, build. Okay. Of course, live demos, something needs to go wrong. Sorry about that. Copy. I'll adjust this one. I'll go to build, and then it'll just take a little longer, but this is one way of licensing the product, which will basically protect the complete host application to launch. You can apply other licensing features like runtime licensing. If you have different flavors of your product, you can license modules, separate modules for different purposes if a designer needs something specific. So let's run this demo. It's the same splash screen. And I'll just show that it does work. I can draw a line or something. Okay. So that was the purpose of showing my licensing. So now if I just delete this AutoCAD license file and try to run again, unauthorized copy, please contact the cool people to get one. And it will shut down gracefully. Like that. So, yeah, I want to mention that if you delete or the licensing module that I added, or you tamper with it in any way, the product wouldn't launch. So it's perfectly secure. And I think by that, I'll hand over to Chris again. Wrap this up.
Okay, thanks, Paolo. Just really to finish off here, so thanks very much for that. A few little bumps in the road there with our screen sharing and passing between us, but next time we'll be a bit slicker on that, so please join us again. We will be sending out a recording of this, so if you want to do any recap. And also in about a week's time, we have a video of myths and truths. So lots of you are sitting there with probably a preconceived idea of what a problem would be. We've got a list of all the preconceived ideas of all the issues and all the myths and truths. So we'll be running through that. And it's actually with one of our larger customers based in the US. So he'll take you through the whole experience of onboarding, how long it took him to actually develop his own products and ship. And also he gives some figures on his sort of quarterly growth, how much is growing. So watch out for the myths and truths video that we'll send out shortly. So with further ado, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Please look out for further demos. If you've got an idea of a topic that you want to cover, please send it over to us and we'll cover it in the next one. David, you wanted to raise a point.
Yes, there's a few people on the call. We don't know who they are. We don't have your email address, so we won't be sending you a demo, a recording, I should say. If you'd like a recording, please just drop your email address into chat so that we can pick that up and send it on afterwards. Okay, thank you very much.
Or drop me an email as well.
Or drop Chris an email. Yeah. Great.
Okay. Thanks very much, guys. Thanks for your time this afternoon. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.